Welcome to Josh and Jakota. I'm Josh, that's Jakota, and today it's another one of with just the monkeys because we're still in the self-isolating. What do you call it again?
Yes, the self isolation, I guess, is what the quarantine, I guess.
Well, it's not quarantine exactly because like we're not. How do
We're
you
not
say it?
sick.
We're not sick, right? So we're not staying alone. We're just staying apart,
Staying
sort of
the
thing.
social distance, right?
Social
Exactly.
distancing. Yeah. So we're more than 2 meters apart, which is
Right.
more than 6 feet apart right now. We're probably about like I don't know. I'm terrible at distances, but what would you say? Like a mile?
uh,
No, we're
I'd
probably like
say
10 miles apart right now.
10 miles? 10 miles. No, dude, you are bad at
10 kilometers.
distances.
Sorry, 10 kilometers. So we're 10 kilometers apart.
Maybe.
We're probably
Yeah,
about ten
maybe.
kilometers apart.
We're 6 minutes. We're like 7 minutes apart, I guess. That doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter.
It's like, yo, how far away are you? About 10 miles or 10, some 6 minutes apart. 10 kilometers.
Oh, excuse me, I got this cough here. Oh, so how have you been amongst this crisis?
Well, I've been working a little bit. The same job that you were helping me with. I've just about done that. I just have to
Yeah,
sand it off. I hate sanding. Sanding day sucks.
you know what? Just the whole when it's not when you work on a house that isn't from the bottom up. You know what I mean? It's gonna be difficult. So I don't envy you at all with the sanding and this and the that and the wonky floor and the crazy walls and the freaking
Yeah, it
dude.
sucks. It sucks. But right now, actually, because it's my day off, because it's actually a drying day on the job, I'm actually working on my shop right now, which is going to be our art studio, mine and your art
Right.
studio for everyone else there who knows what we do, which is basically just different types of art, photography, woodworking, if you can call it woodworking. We work with
Right.
wood, some metal work, and painting and stuff. So yeah, I've started working on that, repairing the wall and stuff. I actually just made the back door as well that
Oh,
goes
nice.
into the material cupboard.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like some progress, which I'm actually very happy about because I have a frame that I get to build. I get
No,
to build another frame. So,
nice, nice.
yeah, just like the fallen angel print. If anyone remembers, my first YouTube video was a frame build. So I'm going to be doing another cool picture, which means, well, I already took the picture. Um, but I'm going to be doing a frame for another cool picture. So yeah, that's I guess something to look forward to, I suppose.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude. I just had to build another big workbench because this shop is quite a bit bigger than my old one. It's over 3 times as big. So
Right.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Nice, nice.
Pretty
I'm
stoked
stoked
about
for
it.
it too, dude. Like even in the state that it's in, like just seeing. Well, aren't we actually going to not keep it?
No, we're not gonna keep it, but for now we're gonna have it because like to rebuild it. Because what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna tear it down and then build another one. But tearing it down, that doesn't cost anything really. But building a new one is going to be like 40, 50 grand, something like that. So, and I have about negative dollars right now. So,
Nice word, dude. Well, gotta start.
I got to start making stuff, which is why I'm going to build this up so I can work on it for a couple years, like work in it for a couple years and then go from there. Like I'm repairing it so that it's sound, so that it'll work for
Right.
us. So I'm just repairing all that stuff, but I'm not necessarily going to do all the things I wanted to do, like all the cool lights and all the cool like different stuff with the power going to the different areas that I want it to go to. Like all that stuff is going to wait. But But it's still going to be totally functional, just like my old shop was, which was so handy because I had like everything you could need, basically.
Right. Right.
Except for like, do you know Adam Savage from MythBusters?
Dude, I love Adam Sandler, dude. He was in Little Nicky and freaking... Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
His shop is awesome. He has literally almost anything you could ever need. And he has like, you know how I had my shop where I'd have like just different bits and bobs everywhere and like just cool
Right.
stuff? Yeah, he has the same thing. Although what's missing from his shop that was in my shop is he doesn't have a rock climbing wall like I did. So,
Right. Are you going to have the rock climbing thing again, or what?
I might, because why not?
You know what I was thinking of? Now, I'm just spitballing here. Just hear me out. Dude, bungee cord.
Nothing's tall enough.
Oh, well, I mean, frick. What about giant trampoline then?
I was thinking about putting a trampoline in the ground and then having like basketball nets.
Ooh, I thought of something even better. What about indoor go-karts?
In my shop.
Dude, that would be sick. Dude, you'd be, oh man, I'm tired of building this bison out of paper, so I'm going to rip around on this go-kart. Dude, that would be sick. I would never leave.
Well, my go-kart that I actually have, I got from my neighbor, is gas powered, so I wouldn't be able to go inside. Actually, it's not even gas; it's actually just a frame right now. He just brought over a frame. He's like, "Hey, you want to build a go-kart?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Yeah, you can have this." He drops it over, and then so now I have that project on the back burner. Like I have no idea when I'd get to that, but dude, my shop's not nearly big enough to have indoor go-karting.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, how about outdoor, indoor? You know what I mean? So like part of it goes through in the inside and the rest is the outside. You built a trail, right?
Yeah, that would actually be cool to do. Yeah, that would be cool to have like a track that goes around the property. That would be kind of cool.
Dude, you have so much land that you don't even know what to do with.
That is kind of true. In that back area, yeah, we could probably do something cool.
What do you Dude, I don't understand people that have so much land. You know what makes no sense to me? Having like a 70-foot front yard.
Yeah, front yards are always a waste of space. Make that smaller so that you can have all your private backyard, the coolness, right?
Right.
Instead and like
it makes no sense.
What's up with all the grass? If your front yard is all trees, then that's cool. But like if it's all grass, like what a waste. You gotta cut all that. Doesn't look nice unless it's cut. You know, if you have trees, it looks nice all the time.
Right. I don't understand the appeal of, oh, well, I got a 30-foot yard. I don't understand it. I get it if you're rich and you're flexing on people and you're like, look what I can afford. Then I get it. But why not put a freaking go-kart track on there? Dude, that would be sick.
That would be sick. But there's also zoning and stuff, right? And also your neighbors have to be cool with it.
You know what's hilarious? When I was living at my old place, I didn't realize that you actually had to confront your neighbors if you're going to put up a potential eyesore. And so where I was living, it was in a small cul-de-sac area or whatever. Not cul-de-sac, but it was a small neighborhood. Anyways, our neighbor, I guess ex-neighbor, I don't live there anymore, but dude, he put up like this huge, gigantuan freaking, what is that called? Like a tower, like a metal tower. One day it wasn't there, and then one day, what the heck? Is that always there? No, I don't think so. And then, what the heck? Dude, my roommate got upset and was like, why didn't they say anything? It looks like a friggin', like, you know those metal things that you see out in, like those giant, they look like giant dudes that are, not, wait. They look like giant metal men holding up
Right.
wires.
Yeah. They're like holding like ropes.
Right. I don't know if that's everywhere, but here in Canada, there's like these giant metal, they look like men holding up wires. Anyways, similar to that, I'm just trying to paint a picture here of what it looks like. So it was ugly, and I didn't understand. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, you actually, like, because if someone has a problem with it, they can go to the county or whatever and complain. They can literally complain about something that you have on your own yard.
Yeah, just because they can see it.
Right. That's insane? Oh, but I get it.
I think it's stupid because, like, not only that, you know what else sucks is property taxes. So if I make my house nicer, I have to pay the government more money just to live here. Even though they didn't help me make it nicer. In fact, they made me pay all this other bullshit, like permits and, like, all the permits kind of make sense. You know, all that stuff. And then on top of that, now I have to pay more every year just to live here because I made it nicer for myself. Like, what?
That doesn't make any sense.
It's stupid. Like, imagine going out to I don't know, whatever, some party or something like that, and you want to look nice. So then you go to the party, and like let's say someone just has their regular clothes on. They get in for free or whatever. And then, but you have like a nice suit on, and they're like, "Well, you're gonna have to pay $100 to come in here." It's like, why? Because you look nicer than everyone else. You made yourself better than than you were before, so you got to pay extra.
Yeah, dude, that makes zero sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Yeah, that makes me angry.
The government sucks, dude. Like,
Dude,
for
the government can suck. I agree with you that the government sucks. I feel like the government should not be in every aspect of
right. Yes.
everyone's life.
So the government doesn't always suck, but they suck at doing their job. How about let's say that.
You know what? I probably wouldn't be so upset if there wasn't, corruption and lying. And
yeah, dude, did you hear about like that guy, that black guy who was jogging and he got killed by that ex-cop and stuff? And and he was gonna, well, it seemed like he was gonna get away with it, but like just recently they got him and his son. Yeah.
So I heard about it. I looked into it a little bit. I don't really need to go read much to know that it's messed up to go and chase somebody and then kill them. That doesn't make any sense to me. Regardless if you're chasing a criminal or if you're an ex-cop, or it doesn't matter the situation, in my opinion here. If you didn't see the said... Here, let me just drop my opinion here, okay? So what they say is the ex-cop and his son heard about something that happened weeks ago or something.
Yeah, someone robbed someone or something like that, or burgled.
He was on a construction site or something, which is not illegal. You're allowed, it's not illegal to go on a construction site or whatever. And there was cameras, and they saw him or something. Something to do with the fact that they saw someone that matched the description.
Right, they just saw a black guy, I think. They didn't even see him, right? It wasn't even him.
No, they didn't see him exactly. It was just, he fit the profile. How convenient, right? So the dude's jogging, and then they confront him, right? Mm-hmm. And, dude, regardless of who you are, if two dudes come at you with freaking guns and say, hey, we want to talk to you for a bit, you're not going to just stand there and be like, whoa, wait, what? I'm going to just...
Especially if your race is getting killed left, right, and center by people.
Yes, exactly. So these people that, like, it baffles me how there are people trying to justify this killing, okay? So, what was I saying? So they kill him, dude. No, it makes no sense, okay? If I was chasing a suspect, first of all, was it a robbery or something? Or they were saying something that something got stolen or Wouldn't you call the police? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if a black man was to go chase down a couple of white dudes, kill the said white dudes, dude, there would have been no investigation. There would have been like, case open and closed, this guy killed this guy. There wouldn't have been any, well, I don't know, how did he feel about this? There wouldn't have been any of that, right?
No, probably not, no.
Straight to jail, son. The fact that it took 3 months or whatever it was for them to go to prison or jail. I don't know if they're in prison or jail, but I know they're locked up somewhere. Yeah, it's unacceptable. First of all, for anyone that isn't in a law enforcement, in my opinion, to go chase somebody with a freaking gun. If you didn't have a gun,
unless they're robbing you, perhaps,
right.
perhaps.
If you saw it and you didn't think that there was, like, they thought they was going to get away or whatever, if you thought that someone else's life was in danger, or if there was, you know what, then yes, maybe step in. But this dude was jogging, man. This dude woke up that morning and was like, I'm going to go better myself and go for a run. And then he gets killed. Like, that is not cool, man.
Right, and he was like only like 30 something, right? He wasn't even like.
He was 25, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, was he that young? I thought he was 30.
He was.
Well, whatever the case is, man, he had so much more life to live. Like, I can see somehow where people try to justify it because they're like, well, and this is what I think are people, like, oftentimes people are like, oh, well, that's racist to think that, but I don't necessarily think that. So here's how I can see it being justified, but it's still, in my opinion, not. How,
right.
If you see someone and you're certain that's the guy who robbed someone, you go chase him down. And then you accidentally shoot him in self-defense. Because first you bring your gun, which is stupid, because you're not sure it's him. But then the guy you think is attacking you when really he's just scared. But let's in this instance, you can't read someone's mind. So then you say, oh, he's attacking me. Because didn't he like fight back? I never watched the video, man. I can't watch that shit.
I didn't want to watch the video, but I watched it just so that I would, it sucked. I didn't like it. He ran away, dude. They struggled. The dude had a shotgun. He grabbed it, and there was a bit of a tussle. And then he tried to run away, and then he shot him.
Right, that's what I heard. So in that case, then I could see shooting, because then you're like, oh, this is for sure him. But as a ex-police officer, shouldn't you have like the skills to like you're supposed to de-escalate stuff, right?
Right. Yes.
Right. If you have the gun, you already have the upper hand. You should only point a gun at what you intend to kill, right? So in this case, he could have been like, "Hey, let's call the police, who are the actual police now, and hopefully they're not assholes. And let's say, hey, we're chasing this guy who we think robbed us or robbed someone or burgled someplace a few weeks ago. We think it's the same guy." However, they weren't sure because they just ran after him. Then, upon coming up to him, they could have been like, hey, are you the dude who robbed us, blah, blah, blah. Probably if he did, the guy would have lied and said no. But then you could be like, well, let's just wait for the police and let's, do this thing. Because, if I was ever confronted by someone with a gun, I would be like, what the hell is this? I mean, luckily we live somewhere where not everyone just has guns willy-nilly. You have to, to have a gun here, it's a little more complicated. And people aren't so gun crazy, gun happy. It's kind of sucks, though, that, people are getting their gun, let's call them gun rights, taken away here in Canada now, more recently. Because there was that
shooting in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That's awful. But
it's so strange to hear about that in freaking Canada.
Yeah, I don't really know this
terrorist attacks and shit like that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
They don't really sensationalize that stuff here either, though. So you don't really hear about it, right? No. You don't know his name. You didn't see a picture of him or nothing like that. No. You just know that a guy happened and 18 people died, including himself, and. Yeah, he killed, 2 police officers and 15 people, and then he died as well. Something like that. And, man, that's a bummer. But anyways, get to my point. So how I could see someone justifying this as, an accident or, whatever is how I explained it. But then also you're ignoring the fact that a guy was just jogging. How come his side doesn't even matter? Because someone else thought something? That seems messed up.
Right. I think that regardless if it was an accident or whatever the hell, somebody frickin' died, okay? They paid with their life. These frickin' people, regardless of who pulled the trigger, whatever. 3 people went after this dude, okay? The person that was recording, the person that shot the person, and then the guy's son, right?
Right.
So, I think all 3 of them should be seeing jail time, for sure, for a long time. Whatever the highest...
I don't know about the guy recording. You think he should go to jail because he didn't step in?
Hell yes. That's just like if I was a police officer, okay, and I saw another police officer beat the shit out of somebody, and I didn't say anything to anyone, and it was police brutality, and I knew it. I'm a piece of shit police officer then.
Right, but was this guy a police officer or no?
Was he a police officer?
The guy recording.
The guy that was filming? I'm not sure, but I'm just saying.
So
generally, if I would like I'm just speaking as an example, right?
Right. But that's kind of more extreme, wouldn't you say? Because like you hold police officers up to a higher standard because their job is to basically enforce the law. But as a citizen, if he's just a guy recording, plus he's kind of far away. Right?
Well,
like I'm just looking at the screenshot. Like I haven't actually watched the video, but looking at the screenshots, like it's grainy as heck. So he looks like he's zoomed in. You know what I mean?
I don't know. If he was innocent, he wouldn't have stopped the tape. Where it would have damned them even more. So the most damning evidence is this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So he should go to jail for his effort to kind of cover it up. But I mean, the video exists, so
right, it does exist, which is friggin' awesome. I'm so glad that it does because it helps the jury, or just helps the case in general for the victim, right?
Right.
Which is all I care about is the victim. I don't care about these damn police officers or these retiree whatever. Okay. You did something messed up, and you need to pay for it. And there should be no sympathy for these people that murdered somebody, dude. If it was an accident, then there would be room for sympathy. But it was they planned it, dude. They chased him and went after him. And maybe they didn't plan on pulling the trigger, but they intended on using force somehow. Otherwise, they wouldn't have used the gun. They wouldn't have brought it. They wouldn't have, right? It's like if I went to I don't know. I can't even think of anything. I'm just really flustered right now. Like, I freaking...
Yeah, no, I get it. Dude, it is serious because people are dying from this.
Yes. And people are like, did you see that freaking group on Facebook where it was like, a couple of God-fearing people that need justice or whatever? Like, what? And it had like 98,000 people in this group that were for this policeman and his son. Right? Yeah. It was like, we need justice for these people. Like, what? What about justice for the man that they killed? I don't understand.
Right. Well, you got to think. There's 3 types of people who do that. There's people who don't know the story. There's people who are racist, and there are people who are ignorant. Like, not ignorant. What's the right word? People who are seeing who remember when I just played the devil's advocate for saying it's justified this way. It's those people. So ignorance plays a spot in there, but it's different than not knowing the story. So the 3 people, the different types of people who I think join that group are, number 1, racist people who don't care about other races dying. Number 2, people who don't have any clue about the story, and they're just like, what? Police officers are good people. And
right.
So he should be protected or whatever. And then 3, people who think they know what happened based on false telling of the story of what actually happened.
Hearsay.
Yeah, let's say, okay. There's that. Yeah. Something like that.
Man, it's frustrating that I feel like it's like black people are like the only ones that have to like explain their innocence through like not even, you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it.
If it was a white person, they would be like, all right, let's open and close this case as quickly as possible as we can. If it was a white little girl, okay, there would be a manhunt out for these freaking people that killed her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate how there's a difference in
double standard. Yeah. Based off of nothing.
Pisses me off.
Based off of nothing, right? Like
based off of Oh my
When
god.
people are
Make
racist,
fun,
it's so weird to me that someone doesn't like someone because they look different. And
that makes no sense.
not even different. They're just a different color. I guess they have like different features, right? Like you might be able to tell a black person versus a white person versus an Asian person, stuff like that.
Right.
But like the main difference is their skin color, and you're like, yeah, no, that person's worth less. Why? Why again? Can you explain why? Well, have you seen that their skin is dark? What?
What?
Like it's not funny, but I laugh at it because it's like, how can you be that stupid to think that?
It's ridiculous. I think it's laughable because I feel like I'm a pretty normal person. Okay, I breathe, I eat, I take a poop in the morning, right? I don't look at someone when I look out the window go, yeah, I wish they would die because they're not me. You know what I mean? I don't. How do you become racist? How does that become you?
Right, and you don't even know them, so you don't even know if they're what you think, right? You're basically just basing it off of what you see with your eyes, and it's only skin deep, right? You're not even seeing them commit some sort of, act that goes against your ethics or morals or beliefs, right? You're just like, no, he's black. Like, I remember seeing this video a long time ago of this, I think it was like a game show or something where they had to compete for something. And there was this guy, and he's like, I'm not going to vote for him simply off the fact that he's black. And everyone else was like, sorry, what? He was like, yeah, I don't like black people or something like that. I can't remember what he said. And I was like, that was when the internet was young. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I remember seeing my first black person and thinking that they were different, but I didn't think that they weren't human. I was like, wow, that person is very tanned. That's all I thought. It was a black nurse at our mom's nursing home. And I remember thinking, I'm like, man, she is dark. But that's it. That's it. I wasn't like, well, I was also a little kid, so I've only seen one black person. So like, I was a little weirded out, but I wasn't like, gross. That person's worth less. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. Also, she had a mad thick accent. But I don't understand how someone can be like, oh, wait a minute, this person is gross because, or whatever. I don't even know how to even think about it in that way because it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It makes no sense.
I even remember as a little kid, like older than that, I was in grade 3, and there was no black kids in my class, but there was black kids in the grade above me, and I remember playing on the playground with him, and I was working up the gumption to ask him, yo, why are you so dark? Right? Because I was curious, right? I was just curious, right? I didn't know.
Right.
So I'm like, why are you so dark? And then he's like, hey man, I'm black. And I'm like, black? You're not black.
You thought like in a literal sense.
Yeah, I thought he meant like black, like the color black. I'm like, dude, you're just dark brown. I'm like, no. You're not black. You're brown.
No.
I'm telling him, you're not black. You're brown. And then I point at my shirt. I remember I was wearing this Nike hoodie that said "Just Do It" on it, and the letters said, or the letters that said "Just Do It" were black. And I was like, this is black. You're brown. And he's like, no, man, I'm black. And I'm like, what? Anyways, as I grew up, obviously I understood the,
Right. That's funny. That reminds me when I was very young, so when I had seen I couldn't understand. I think I was walking in Superstore. So Superstore is a superstore here in Canada.
It's a grocery store. Yeah.
It's like Walmart,
but better and Canadian.
Right, it's Canadian. So I was walking in the Superstore, super young, and I saw a black woman, and she had that hair that looks like shoelaces, and I couldn't, for the life of me, understand how she had shoelace hair. Like, you know what I'm talking about? How
Yeah. Like it's braided super tightly. Yeah.
Tightly braided. Right. I was so confused. I was like, did that grow out of her head? Like, how? Like, is that a wig? How can I pull it? Like, I didn't understand because I'd never seen anyone have that kind of hair except for a black person. So for the longest time, I thought it was fake hair. I didn't think it was real.
It was like, huh, that's cool. Not real.
I was like, that's a weird fashion statement, but all right. Shoelace hair, all right.
Right, but at any point did you think that she was worth less than you?
Hell no, I didn't.
Right?
No, not at all.
It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make.
I didn't like start hating people until I was an adult. You know what I mean?
And then you.
Damn you, government! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if we meant to go off the deep end like that, but.
Right.
That's crazy. If anyone wants to know what we're up to in the meantime during this time of COVID-19 and all that jazz, you can follow us on our individual social medias and YouTube channels where we upload regularly. Like, it's the day that we're recording this, you're going to be doing one of your Monday... What do you call them? Monday Madness lives.
Right.
And people seem to enjoy those. You kind of do a live drawing... and then you actually draw a winner for that kind of thing too, for the last week's drawing or stuff. Do you still do that?
We kind of do. Well, it's changed a bit since, but yeah, we still do it. It's kind of like an auction thing now. So
Okay.
Like people can get in on it. You know, it's exciting.
Cool.
It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Every once in a while, I tune into one of those if I'm not busy doing something else.
Yeah, it happens every other week. Is a draw and like.
Okay. Okay.
I give away. It doesn't even have to be a drawing. It can be anything really. Anything
Okay.
that I feel like giving away.
Okay.
But I do drawings every day as well, or every Monday. I try and do an actual drawing.
All right, cool.
Yes.
So if anyone wants to check that out, make sure you peep the links down below. We do get comments every once in a while saying the links don't work. Kind of weird because they work for us when we edit it and put them in there. So I'm not sure what that deal is. So I don't know. Try again, maybe. I don't know. Like they seem to work for us. So I don't really understand that exactly. But we're still working out the kinks on this show. As you can tell, we're kind of trying to keep it going even during this time. So yeah.
Right. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we hope to see you next Wednesday.
That was a pretty good one, I think. I mean, that kind of went kind of hard in the sauce there.
Yeah, I kind of did, huh? But that's okay. I like the whole real emotions thing.